Hello and welcome back to the channel. We are starting our very first playthrough of the new expansions for Townsfolk Tussle. Well, not my first playthrough, but the first playthrough on the channel. Big thanks to everyone who's checked out the last couple of videos on it. I did an unboxing of my preview sampler that Panic Roll sent me, as well as I have done a video on my full impressions of the expansion because I did end up playing through the full thing with my friends, a couple of weekends ago, and I really enjoyed it. So if you want to check out my full thoughts and impressions on the new expansion so far, then definitely check out my last video. I'll put a link to that in the description below. But this is going to be just pure gameplay. I discovered that they have the new content on Tabletop Simulator, and I'm not able to record in my living area at the moment. Plus, especially with a game like this, it's a lot easier to showcase all the different pieces and show everything off through Tabletop Simulator, and there's better audio recording. It's a lot easier for me to edit, things like that. So I figured we'll just do this playthrough on Tabletop Simulator, which you can actually, it is a public demo on Tabletop Simulator. So if you own that game, you can get the mod for it, and I'll put the link to that as well down in the description below, as well as with the Kickstarter link, which you can see from the thing here. Starts March 14th is when the Kickstarter goes live for these expansions. So I'm not going to be talking about sort of my thoughts on mechanics really too much. This is going to be pure gameplay. We're just going to dive right into it. Again, you can check out my last video if you would rather, hear my thoughts on what I think about the game overall so far, or the expansions overall. Again, because this is a demo and prototype material, everything in here is subject to change. We do have a very small section of the expansions. Notably, we are missing 4 of the ruffians from the Foul Neighbors expansion, and for the Odd Jobs expansion, we aren't going to be able to unlock roles or unique gear from combining cards. So we have another small sample of that as well. Let's just go over a few things. You can see in the new demo on Tabletop Simulator, you do have access to all the previous townsfolk, because Panic Roll does recommend the game is best balanced, even if you're playing solo, to play with 3 townsfolk minimum. So we're going to choose 3 townsfolk. We're obviously going to choose the new characters. So we're going to choose Fridgette Jones and Judy Marks, and I think we're going to choose my favorite character. We're going to choose Quintus Binch as our other one. So I'm going to get everything set up. We're going to get started for the first town phase, and we'll be back in just a second. All right, we have got everything all set up. I have got all their starting gear. In my actual physical copy, I actually do have Quintus's secondary gear unlocked, which I actually would normally start with, but that actually isn't in the demo here. So we just have his original starting gear, which is no problem. Let's just go over some of the abilities, just in case you are unfamiliar with the new characters. I'm just going to assume you're familiar with Quintus Binch, but we'll just go over his very quickly. So Fridgette Jones starts with the Swinging Door, which is a 2-handed mace. It does 1 moxie to use, 5+ accuracy, and 1 damage, and it does +1 damage if you activated Hide inside this turn, which is her special ability. With 1 moxie, we can hide a townsfolk inside of her. We just essentially remove them from the board, place them adjacent to her at the start of their turn, and if you're removed from the board, place any hiding townsfolk adjacent to you before removing yourself from the board, so if she gets knocked out or something like that. She also has another ability, Cold Storage, which is just passive, so it's reduced by changing gear is reduced by 1 moxie during the fight for yourself and townsfolk adjacent to you. We have Ice Pack, which is our chest gear, just cost 1 moxie to use, and we can heal someone who is currently hiding inside of us from our hide inside ability. For Feats of Metal, we have gotten Wealthiest Townsfolk. Pay 7 coins at any time to achieve this feat. That's a fairly easy one to get. Gear Deprived. If a ruffian action causes a piece of gear of your gear to be discarded or unequipped, achieve this feat. Pummel Planner. If no townsfolk is at their max HP during a fight, achieve this feat. She has some very easy ones to get, which is very nice. Judy Marks, we have another supportish character, Judy Marks. And again, if you want to check out my thoughts on these towns, so you can check out my last video. Her weapon is the giant paintbrush. It's a 2-handed spear, 1 moxie, 7+ accuracy to hit with, and 1 damage. Range is 3, which is nice, but we get +1 accuracy for each painting given during this fight, that's her special ability, Gift of Art. For 1 moxie, an adjacent townsfolk, she can give a painting of her choice. She starts with these 3. It's only a 1-time use. After 3 paintings are given, this can no longer be activated. And once she's given out 3 paintings, she actually gets +2 movement during the fight as well. Her 3 paintings are Happy Place. She can give this to someone to give them +3 movement and +2 moxie on their turn. Focused Friend lets them get an automatic hit regardless of accuracy roll, but you'll still be able to roll to potentially get that critical. And then Hero's Journey, after receiving this, you may immediately move up to 4 squares. If they end their movement adjacent to the ruffian, the ruffian will take 1 damage. And her feats of metal, she has Eagle Eye and a town phase with 1 accuracy or higher. That is extremely easy for her because she starts with +1 accuracy, which is very, very convenient. I did shuffle these. Careful Planning. If you do not change your equipped gear for the entire fight, achieve this feat. That's a fairly easy one to get, especially for the first fight. And then First Blood. Be the first townsfolk to damage the ruffian. We've already sorted out the buying and beating order, unfortunately, though, and Quintus is going to be the first in the beaten order because I just essentially rolled 3 dice for each of them and assigned them from first to last in terms of buying order, highest roll to lowest. And then last but not least, we have Quintus Bench, who just has the Rubber Bat, 1 Moxie, 5+ accuracy, 1 damage, no special abilities, and Stolen Candy, which is a consumable, which lets him essentially teleport himself anywhere on the map. This will be, I don't know if they've updated this consumable because one of the base game rule changes they have made to consumables from the expansions is that most consumables, unless otherwise specified, actually don't get discarded. You actually just are only able to use it once in a fight, that's all. So I'm interested to see if the starting gear one is changed. I don't believe it is, so I'm just going to assume that's correct. Tinkerer, interact with a terrain piece. Fairly easy. Trap Layer, if the ruffian takes damage from a terrain piece, achieve this feat. That goes very well with Tinkerer. And Light Pockets and the town phase with 0 coins, which is also potentially pretty easy as well. He gets to take an item worth 5 coins or less from the peddler shop before anyone buys anything. And the Trickster ability lets him, for 2 Moxie, swap positions with another townsfolk on the board. All right, so that is going to be it. So let's start the first town phase and do our town events. Again, if you are playing the new stuff, you'll realize as well there is a new base game mode for 3 rounds, which this little token represents. So instead of using the first fight, you'll skip the first fight and essentially place this in that slot and start at the second level fight and begin the game with 5 extra coins instead. So that's essentially if you want a shorter session and not have to play 4 full fights essentially, which is very, very cool of them to add. All right, so we're going to go in buying order for the town events. So this is going to be for Judy Marks first. Ooh, and it's going to be a secret, so obviously we're playing solo, so we're just going to ignore that one and draw a new one. Shameless Theft. Compared to the others, you get the feeling you're unprepared for the battle to come. You've got an idea. You must do one of the following. Steal up to 3 coins from another townsfolk, or steal 1 piece of non-starting gear from another townsfolk. All right, well, I guess we are stealing something from another townsfolk. So, because we can't, we only have our starting gear. Yeah, because this one we don't ignore in the first towns phase. Well, I guess we'll just steal from Quintus. Sorry, Quintus. So you're going to go down to 7 coins, sir. Mainly because he gets a free item worth 5 coins or less anyways. So it makes the most sense. All right. Next up is Fridgette Jones. Bump and Run. You collide with a fleeing townsfolk, causing both of you to fall and drop some gear. These are not great. The other townsfolk frantically grab their goods and run, leaving you to pick up the rest. What an oaf. Wait a minute, this isn't yours, and where'd your weapon go? Discard one of your weapons at random. Receive the first weapon from the peddler deck with a Moxie cost equal to or lower than your current Moxie. Skip any weapon that cannot deal damage. I mean, that could actually potentially go very well for Fridgette. And luckily her Moxie is only 2. Not great. That would have been much better for Judy's. All right, so we're going to have to look for a weapon that requires 2 Moxie or less from the peddler deck. I can give that a shuffle. Not a weapon. Not a weapon. Not a weapon. Those are good cards that I'm throwing away. Oh, that was a weapon, but that requires 3 Moxie, so can't use that. We got Rubber Bands. It's a one-handed range weapon, 1 Moxie to use, 3+ accuracy, 0 damage, range 5. If you've already attacked this turn, this weapon gains +1 damage. That's an awful, awful weapon. Definitely not as good as our previous one. I mean, Fridgette Jones does start with -1 accuracy, so essentially we'll have to attack. Wait, how does this even work? If you already attack this turn... Oh, this is awful. We essentially need another one-handed weapon that deals damage to actually make any use out of it, because unless otherwise specified, you can only activate a weapon once. So we essentially are it's implied that, you know, you need another one-handed weapon to attack with first and then attack with rubber bands to get that 1 damage. Well, that was, I mean, it's a good thing Fridgette Jones is is mainly support character. And these are all discarded. Skip any weapon that cannot deal damage. Oh, okay, interesting. Now, I don't know if this is how it works, but inherently the rubber bands cannot deal damage. It can only deal damage from another effect by, you know, attacking with another weapon. I don't know if that would fall under skip any weapon that cannot deal damage. I'm going to say that is the case because it inherently doesn't have a damage associated with it. I'm going to say that actually doesn't count. I don't know if that ruling works. I'm sure Panic Roll will correct me, but all right, here we go. Wooden spoon. This is a cook weapon. Again, you can see on the left side there are going to be rolls associated, which are associated with these roll cards, which again, I go over all that in my previous video, so if you want to know how the roll stuff works, then you can check out my last video. Attacks with this weapon deal +1 damage if you consume this turn. Oh, that would have been so much better for Quintus, but that's okay. Still a solid weapon. All right, it's a one-handed weapon. All right, and last but not least, we have Quintus. Keep the receipt. You get the feeling the peddler has been ripping you off. Better keep this receipt just in case. Keep this card in front of you. The next time you sell a piece of peddler gear, you receive its full value. Nice. Not very useful right now, but it's nice to have down the road. All right, let's grab the peddler cards and fill this peddler shop. So we've got Big Boy Energy, Couples Locket. Oh, interesting. I think Couples Locket's actually one of the special gear that you actually have to combine, or you normally have to combine gear for. Ooh, Tunnable Trebuchet was a huge MVP weapon in our in my friends and mine's playthrough. So I'll probably pick that one up. All right, so not a lot of weapons, unfortunately. And we will use, before anyone buys anything, Quintus gets to use his petty theft ability, so we can take something worth 5 coins or less. This gives us an extra moxie. Whenever you would take damage, you may unequip this to reduce the damage by 1, but it cannot be equipped during a fight. So it gives +1 moxie until we want to essentially unequip it to reduce the damage by reduce a hit by 1, which is actually really, really good. Unfortunately, we don't have the. Oh, never mind. We don't want that for Judy. I thought her careful planning was you want to unequip something. So that's pretty worth it. We have Ruffian Skull, which is 5 coins. Accessory, whenever another townsfolk is knocked out, discard the top 5 cards of the action deck and deal 1 damage to the ruffian. Interesting. I mean, the mourner role seems like a very, very difficult one to get because inherently you don't really want townsfolk to get knocked out. Those are the only 2 worth 5 coins or less, so we're definitely going to take the baby's bib because that actually doesn't replace the stolen candy as well. So we actually get another moxie, which is fantastic. So now we can actually use Trickster to swap places and still attack with our rubber bat. Now, as per the new peddler change rules, whenever an item leaves the peddler shop, you actually do refill the slot, which is fantastic. Probably one of the best changes I think they made. We get a 2-handed spear, 2 moxie, 5 plus accuracy, 2 damage, has range +4 when you are standing inside a terrain piece. Interesting. Not really super necessary at this point, I think. I mean, Quintus Bench could actually use it and still do something worth 1 moxie. I mean, it essentially does an extra damage, which is nice, but I don't really like staying in a lot of the terrain pieces. Either way, Judy Marks is first up in the buying order. So Judy Marks, thanks to stealing 3 coins from Quintus, has 13 coins to start with. Not bad. How do we want to build this? I think I definitely want Tunnable Trebuchet from someone. I think I might just get Quintus to do that because he can actually move around the board the most, so he can place it down fairly effectively in a good spot. But I also do know, and plus with the extra moxie he got, he can actually place a counter on the card and still use his weapon. So I'll probably end up just getting Quintus to use that. We have Couples Locket, which is a chess piece gear, +1 HP, and you get an HP when someone else is knocked out. I mean, HP is just always a good stat to get. It is a chess piece, though. All right, so we want a headpiece because we already have Artist's Cape to heal us at least 1 throughout a fight. Big boy energy for the rest of the fight, mustering your moxie, meaning one of the base game rules is mustering your moxie. They changed it so you can re-roll a attack roll or terrain roll for 2 moxie, but this reduces it to 1 moxie for the fight. Not bad. Possessed spirit. When any townsfolk is knocked out on their turn, they may use their movement to move possessed spirit and their moxie to attack with it. Interesting. I mean, again, don't really want people to get knocked out. Leg gear, flashy buckle, 8 gives +1 moxie whenever you take damage, gain +1 accuracy for the fight. That seems just straight up good. I mean, that stacked with the paintbrush accuracy buffs, we can get to +5 accuracy fairly effectively. And even if we end up getting a better weapon than giant paintbrush, we can still get plus accuracy, which is nice. Judy Marks doesn't have the most health though, so isn't the most effective tank. But alongside Fridgette Jones can heal anyone, which is very, very nice. It's either that or just get like the Mourner's Veil just for the straight up accuracy as well. Scrap Suit. When taking damage, you may remove 2 counters from this to reduce damage by 1. I think whoever gets that Scrap Suit should get the Flashy Buckle, which at the moment no one can actually afford, which is unfortunate. Judy Marks is 1 away from doing that. Glory Hog is a pretty good roll. And Glory Hog is actually probably the best for someone who can get really high accuracy. Because if you get any accuracy above 10, it counts as an automatic critical, I believe, if that's what I remember Glory Hog is. Yeah, when attacking the ruffian, if your accuracy roll after modifiers is 10 plus, it is considered a critical hit. So yeah, I think we'll go with that, because Judy Marks can get that accuracy very, very high. So yeah, we're going to spend 8 coins. We're going to get +1 Moxie. Gives us a lot we can do. All right. Doop. Got 5 coins left. All right, it's going to be Fridgette Jones next. Fridgette Jones has 10 coins. How do we want to do this? Do you want to make Fridgette Jones the Tinkerer, actually? Fridgette Jones has a lot of health. Not the most moxie, though. So it's harder to put counters on stuff. So I think we'll make Quintus the Tinkerer now that he has the extra moxie. Let's see. How do we want to do this? I could also just save my money. What's Ankle Jangler again? Oh, yeah. Peddler refreshes. Bloody Debris, Detective. All features gain the following interaction that only you can activate. 1 Moxie to observe the ruffian. Discard the top 2 cards of the action deck. Not great until we find a thing that lets us use or see the top card of the action deck. Ankle Jangler, 1 Moxie. The next time an action card is played, you may move another townsfolk 2 squares before targeting resolves. Interesting. Unfortunately, there's no other cook things because she already has a cook weapon. Her accuracy isn't that great. She does get the -1. I could get to Mourner. Whenever another townsfolk is knocked out, get +1 accuracy for the fight, but it just also straight up gives an accuracy, which is sort of nice. Which means we'll be hitting on a 4 up. Not the worst. But actually, let's get Big Boy Energy for 6. Maybe we'll actually do that. So we'll have 4 coins left. The reason being is because we actually picked up that wooden spoon, which I forgot about. So when we consume an item, for that turn, it gets +1 damage. So at least for 1 turn, we get a little bit of a jump in damage, which is sort of nice. But also just rerolls cost only 1 Moxie. And because we only have 2 Moxie, it allows us to attack with our wooden spoon and still have a Moxie left over to reroll if we want to try to hit. So, not bad. All right, Peddler. Oh, of course, now there's a cook item. Wild Spinach for 6, consumable. A weapon of your choice has its Moxie set to 1 until the end of the turn. That weapon may attack an additional time this turn, once per fight. That's a really, really strong weapon. Would be great with the Farmer's Ladder. All right, it is Quintus's turn. So Quintus has 7 coins left, thanks to Judy stealing something. So I think we're just going to spend all of the money and get the Tunnelbolt Trebuchet and start working towards maybe being a Tinkerer, because I remember the Tinkerer being great, and we get a little token associated with that. So that's going to be all 7 coins, and that will also get one of our feats of metal, which is Light Pockets. So we're ending the town phase. I don't think we're going to buy any more. We have 5 coins left with Judy, 4 coins left with Fridgette, but there's nothing really else that I think we really want. So that's going to be it for the town phase. We're going to end up getting Light Pockets completed for Quintus Bench, and I think instead of the 2 movement, because he's pretty high in movement to start with, we're just going to get 2 coins as a reward to get us a little bit ahead for the next town phase. Sweet. So that one is done. Alrighty, let us see who our first fight is. We have Miss Falls and Co. This is actually our first fight when my friends and I played too. So this should be pretty straightforward, but I'm going to get that set up, and we'll be back to start our fight with Miss Falls and Co. All right, welcome back. Apologies for the time change on the webcam as well as outfit change. I actually recorded the previous parts late at night, and I didn't want to start the actual battle. So this is a recording on a new day. We are back. We got it all set up. Here is the battlefield for today. You can see there's a few new pieces of terrain. We have the company, which is Miss Falls and Co.'s specific terrain piece, as well as we have the campfire and a clothesline, as well as the mud pit. So quite a few new things. We'll just quickly go over that. We have the company, which is a feature. The company can move through all characters and all terrain pieces. The mud pit, if a townsfolk begins their turn on a mud pit square, they gain a water token, which we'll get into in a sec. Campfire allows townsfolk to end their turn adjacent to it to remove a water token, but if the company enters a campfire square, it can no longer be used. And last but not least, the clothesline. We have 1 Moxie to dry out your clothes. You can unequip any amount of equipped gear for free. For each one, you get to remove 2 water tokens. However, it can only be done once. Only 1 townsfolk can get rid of a lot of wet tokens. And then we have the Heidi Haystack, Town Pond, and the Rickety Farm, which is probably going to be one of our main things we use, of course. It's a one-time use, but we can potentially heal for 2 or deal 3 damage. All right, let's see what Miss Falls & Co. is all about. Miss Falls has been a docile, friendly citizen of Sprinkle Falls for years, but suffers from quite a unique predicament. Day in and day out, she is zapped by the company, aka the town's troublesome storm clouds. Thanks to her tall and water-rich physique, the company latches to Miss Falls like an iron gut to a trash bin. She accepted this painful role in order to keep the other citizens safe from the company's zapping, but she's reached the end of her rope. In a moment of desperation, Miss Falls fled Sprinkle Falls and headed to Eureka Springs, a town known for its welcoming townsfolk. Unfortunately, she looks less like a scared pedestrian and more like a manic ruffian with stormy minions in tow. An unfortunate misunderstanding for everyone involved. It looks like Miss Falls has no choice but to defend herself. Sort of like a Bort Dovis situation, if you're familiar with Bort Dovis' backstory in the base game. Sort of an innocent caught in the wrong situation. So we're playing with 3 townsfolk, so she has 4 movement and 17 health. You can see that the new ruffians also all start with an ambush card in play, which is going to be Shocking Guests for Miss Falls & Co. So all characters who begin the fight within 5 squares of the company receive 3 water tokens. Note that it says all characters. That means that Miss Falls & Co. does receive those water tokens when it mentions that. After each ruffian action, move the company 4 squares towards the character on the board with the most water tokens, including Miss Falls & Co., and attempting to end the movement completely on top of them. After moving, all characters in a square with the company take 1 damage, and the company is a 2x2 square. So yeah, very start of the game, I've already placed down my spawn points, or who I want to beware. We have Fridgette Jones up at the top there. We have Quintus Bench right underneath, and then Judy Marks is at the very bottom. Now, the reason for that is I want Fridgette to be the furthest away. There's only 1 spawn point for the townsfolk, which is right here where Fridgette is. That won't let you start, or that will prevent you from starting with 3 water tokens. So Quintus Bench and Judy Marks will start with 3 water tokens, but ideally we really just want to make sure Fridgette Jones doesn't get hurt too much, mainly because she is the only one that can heal, but also she can't heal herself with her ability. So we'll have to make sure to be careful about that. All right, that is essentially going to be it. So let's get our water tokens. We get 3 water tokens for Quintus. We get 3 water tokens for Judy Marks. And we'll get 3 water tokens for Miss Falls & Co., because she is also within 5 squares. And we'll give this a little shuffle, and we'll start the game. So let's put Top of the beaten order is Miss Falls & Co. Miss Falls & Co. is going to go first. Oh, I also did get a couple extra coins for Judy Marks because we actually did finish Eagle-Eyed as well without having to change anything, which is very, very nice. And we'll have to make sure to try and get Judy Marks to be the first one to actually damage as well. All right, let's see what Miss Falls & Co. does. Field of Tears. All townsfolk is the target. Move Miss Falls towards the driest townsfolk. Ooh. So that is going to be Fridgette. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And unfortunately, with the way tabletop simulator models work, they do extend a little bit further their hitbox, so it's a little bit awkward there. Distribute X water tokens amongst all townsfolk on the board, where X is the number of action cards in the discard pile, not including this one. Divided as you choose. Then, if any townsfolk has over 10 water tokens, play the next action. Well, that's sort of nice to get this at the first one, because that is going to be 0. So I guess we just don't do anything for that one. Now, we do have to trigger Shocking Guests, though. So it moves towards the character on the board with the most water tokens. And currently, Miss Falls & Co., Judy Marks, and Quintus Bench are all tied. So we are going to roll for ties. Lowest roll is going to get it. So I guess we'll roll a third dice, I guess, for Miss Falls & Co. All right, so let's say this one... We'll say this is Miss Falls & Co. This one is going to be Quintus Bench, and this one's going to be Judy Marks. We'll give that a roll. And that is going to be Miss Falls & Co. Nice. So that is going to be moving towards Miss Falls & Co. 1, 2, 3, and it does get on top. I have to do a little bit of shuffling in this battle. So that's going to land on top of Miss Falls & Co. And because of that, Miss Falls & Co. is going to take 1 damage, going down to 16 health. Fantastic. All right, well, it is now Quintus's turn. Quintus, again, we sort of want Judy Marks to be the first one to damage the ruffian if possible. But, and Miss Falls & Co. is actually blocking the rickety farm now, so we can't actually activate that. I think what I might do is I might just... swap places with Judy, because Judy could give a thing to give a painting to Fridgette, which might be pretty useful. We have 3 more damage or 4 more damage until we hit a breaking point. So yeah, let's just spend 2 Moxie. Well, actually, let's get our Tunnable Trebuchet down too, because that's going to be a huge thing. So yeah, let's actually swap places with Judy. So we're going to go here. So that's 2 Moxie. We have 1 Moxie left. We can place down our deployables for free. And let's just place it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, as long as it's within 10 spaces, like this thing hits like a truck. We're going to need to start spending some Moxie, though, to get counters on it. Because then we can actually... get the accuracy to 3+ rather than 7+. So I think we're gonna just do that. I guess. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, and let's actually spend 1 movement just to go this way, just because if the company happens to go towards Quintus, we're more than 4 spaces away, so it won't land on top of us. All right, Fridgette Jones's turn. Fridgette, what do I want to do with you? Again, we want Judy to hit first, and I don't want to use Big Boy Energy yet because it only is. Wooden Spoon only does an extra damage for the turn that it goes on. So I think we're just going to get moving. It seems like Miss Falls & Co. wants to keep heading towards the driest townsfolk. So I think we just want to get Fridgette out of there. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to do that. And the clothesline is an obstacle, so Miss Falls & Co. will have to go around. Miss Falls & Co. also is pretty slow comparatively to pretty much all of our other characters, which is nice. All right, Judy. From this space, we can actually hit with Judy because Judy has a 3 range on her giant paintbrush. We have +1 accuracy, so we're going to be hitting on a 6 or higher. Let's see if make sure we're not missing anything. All right, that's going to be it. So yeah, we're going to roll. Oh, almost a critical. That is a 4. That's going to be a miss, but I'm going to use the reroll mechanic in the game, which is going to let us reroll for 2 Moxie. So I'm going to reroll for 2 Moxie, and hopefully we'll get another hit. There's a 7. That's going to be a successful hit. So it's 1 damage, down to 15. And I think we will also just spend our movement going 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we do have... Now, we actually did complete our first blood. Be the first townsfolk to damage the ruffian. So we're going to get another coin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's actually make this a little bit easier. Get a 5. All right. Let's do that. All right, let's get rid of those. We do have 1 Moxie left because we attacked with 1, rerolled for 2. We have 1 Moxie left thanks to our flashy buckle. I think we'll give Focus Friend over to Fridgette because she can actually get 2 damage with her attack next turn. Yeah, so let's we'll spend 1 Moxie to give Focus Friend over because we can only do it to adjacent townsfolk, and that also will give us +1 accuracy for this with this weapon. So we're going to be up to +2 accuracy. Awesome. All right, that is going to be Judy Marks' turn, so it is going to be Miss Falls & Co. Distant Spritz. Wettest Townsfolk is the one with the most water tokens. That's going to be a tie. It's Wettest Townsfolk. It's going to be a tie between Judy and Quintus. So it's going to be roll off. We'll say this is Quintus. This is Judy. That's double 10s. All right, we're going to do it again. All right, that's going to be targeting Quintus this time. Move Miss Falls towards the target, ranged attack. Miss Falls spits a focus beam of water at the target. If the target is within 5 squares of the ruffian, move a water token from the ruffian onto the target. That is going to be pretty easy to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it doesn't do damage, luckily. And this actually works out pretty well because the company is going to damage her. Yeah, so Miss Falls & Co. is going to transfer a water token over to Quintus. And then now the Shocking Guests is going to go off, where company is going to move 4 squares towards the person with the most water tokens, and now that is Quintus. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's going to end up like this. Now, I don't know if the Tunnel Trebuchet gets destroyed. I don't believe so. I'll have to look that up after, because I don't remember. I don't think it does, though. Unless it, like, something specifically says it gets destroyed. All right, so that's going to do another damage to Miss Falls & Co. It is going to be Quintus's turn. I think Quintus is just going to... Could trigger the breaking point here, but Quintus is going to take a damage from that, most likely. I do want to try to get to the Rickety Farm to activate it to potentially do some damage, but I think I want... yeah, because I want Quintus to be able to do that. I could actually just use my candy. It's not the worst thing in the world. The problem is if we get the heal, then it's sort of a waste, so I think maybe we'll save that. Yeah, let's spend 2 Moxie first, and we're going to use our Tunnable Trebuchet. Well, at least we're going to add use 2 Moxie and put a counter on it, because once there's 2 counters on it, the accuracy becomes 3+. We have 1 Moxie left. I think I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to spend 1 Moxie to, my last Moxie to attack with the rubber bat. And we're hitting on a 5+. That's a 4. Unfortunately, no more Moxie to reroll, so that is going to end his turn. It is going to be Fridgette Jones next. So Fridgette. So here is where some interesting things can happen. Question is, do I want to go closer? Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I like to be pretty aggressive in this game and just sort of do what I can. Can we get in range? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, shoot. Because we do have the Focus Friend as well. Anyway, I can't really get over there. It really is unfortunate Judy doesn't go before Fridgette. I can move Judy over closer, though, because I can use Hide Inside. So yeah, let's spend 1 Moxie to hide Judy inside of Fridgette. And then we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's go 5. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's actually go like this. Because that means if Miss Falls & Co. goes towards the driest and goes 1, 2, 3, 4, we'll be out of range. So hopefully we won't take any damage, but it'll still be, yeah, that should still be fine. Cool. Now it's going to be Judy's turn, and at the start of Judy's turn, she's going to get spat out. And we'll put her right there. Judy can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can give a painting to Quintus, and we could make him get another damage in. We could trigger the breaking point here. Is that... It's not the greatest. Let's actually go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Judy, because we're actually 3 spaces away, so we can still attack Miss Falls and Co. And we can also end our turn to get rid of a water token. Let's do that. All right, so we're gonna spend Moxie to attack. We're hitting on a 5 or higher because we have +2 at the moment. That's gonna be a 1. I am gonna use 2 Moxie to re-roll. That is a 9, almost a critical. That's still 1 damage. It's gonna be down to 13. And we're gonna end our turn and get rid of a water token by being beside the campfire. All right, Miss Falls and Co. is gonna go. Pylon kick, driest townsfolk. Ooh, it's still a ranged attack. Move Miss Falls and Co. towards the target. That's annoying. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Oh, should have moved 1 away. 1 damage to the target. So Fridgette takes 1 damage. And move the target 5 squares towards the company. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Oh no, it's all falling apart. The one downside to Tabletop Simulator. I'm going to sneak Fridgette just in behind. That'll be 5. Unfortunately, that means that Shocking Guests does not hit Miss Falls and Co. It does hit us, because it's going to go 1 and move towards Quintus, because he has the most water tokens, unfortunately. And that's going to do a damage to Quintus. I think I still want to keep my 1 Moxie, so we're just going to take that. And that'll be it. Ooh. All right, well, we definitely need to get away now. I think what I'm going to do, it's only 1 Moxie to use Rickety Farm. It's Quintus's turn now, so we're going to use 2 Moxie. We're going to get that last Trebuchet counter on here. Now it's the accuracy's 3+ rather than 7+. I'm going to use my Stolen Candy to teleport myself all the way to the Rickety Farm here. And we're going to spend our last Moxie to use the Rickety Farm and hopefully deal 3 damage. I'd rather have that than the heal personally, but at least it'll let us heal to full either way. Oh, that's a 2. It's going to be... Nothing happens. And unfortunately, I don't have enough Moxie to re-roll that, so that's going to end his turn. But at least we're far away enough from the Misfall, or from the company. Fridgette's turn. I think Fridgette... If we activate the breaking point, the company will ideally go 1, 2, 3, 4 towards Quintus, assuming that Miss Falls and Co. doesn't move. Well, actually, no, it'll still be that way. Yeah. And we might be able to get the company on there, because we do want to attack with Fridgette, because we do have the focus friend right now. So I think we're going to drink our big boy energy, allowing us to use the Mustering Your Moxie, which is the reroll ability, for only 1 Moxie rather than 2. And then now for this turn, since we consume this turn, we get +1 damage, and Focus Friend allows us to get a successful hit regardless of our attack roll. We're still going to roll because there's still a chance we get a crit. Like that. We're going to roll on the critical hit table. Whoa, double crit. Holy moly, you send bits of the roughing gear flying. Receive the roughing gear marked with a star on the rewards. You may equip it immediately if it's already been activated. This fight instead deal +1 damage. We still get 2 damage in. Actually, sort of wouldn't mind of doing a 3rd damage. All right, so her star gear is Cloud Caller. Cloud Caller, huh? Hopefully it's something good. Oh, it's a sword. Melee 2-handed spear. 3 Moxie to use. Ooh, that's really bad because she has no way to use that weapon. I mean, the only way she can use that is at least for 1 turn if she gets gifted Happy Place. Or actually, Pummel Planner we should have triggered when Quintus got damaged. So that actually would have made the breaking point happen a little bit earlier, wouldn't it? We'll just say I got it for 3 coins instead. I actually do want the 3 coins anyways, so. 4 plus accuracy, 2 damage. Range 4, 1 moxie to deal 1 damage to yourself and all characters within 4 squares of you. Again, not a great weapon for her because she can't heal herself. Well, it's only 1 moxie to swap things, which is nice. So I think we'll equip it now. Judy Marks can give the painting to Fridgette so she can at least get 1 good attack in. And she'll actually have enough to attack with it for 2 damage and use the Moxie ability to deal an additional damage to herself and all characters. Because that'll be a huge bump in damage. So, alright. That is going to be a breaking point though. So that's going to trigger Miss Falls & Co. Blubbering Plea. Driest Townsfolk. That's going to be Fridgette. She looks at the target and sobs uncontrollably, receiving 2 water... Oh no, she receives 2 water tokens. Alrighty. She's back up to 4. So she's tied with Quintus now. Keep this card in front of the target. At the start of the next Ruffian action, move Miss Falls 3 squares towards the target. If she reaches them, move all water tokens from the Ruffian onto the target. Ooh, that's really bad, because this is a breaking point thing, so that's going to happen. Then, if the Ruffian is standing in the mud pit, even partially activate the Ruffian's weakness. Oh, what is her weakness? Mud gunks at the Miss Falls pipe. She takes 1 damage and receives 2 water tokens. Okay, well, that's not the worst thing. All right, so that's gonna go in front of or not Miss Falls and Co. Fridgette. Cool. And let's just flip that over to show that we've used it. Right, that's gonna be breaking point on Fridgette's turn. So now it's Judy Marks' turn. So we know that Miss Falls & Co. is not going to move because she's already right up against Fridgette. So let's see. Yeah, because actually once Miss Falls & Co. transfers all the water tokens over, it's going to be a tie between Quintus and Fridgette. We want to make sure that, we want to make sure that Fridgette doesn't get caught by the company. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2. I'm going to, let's attack with a giant paintbrush first for 1 moxie. It's going to be a miss. I'm going to reroll. That'll be, well, 1 moxie left to still give a painting over. Oh, it's on 1. All right, can't reroll. Even if I wanted to. I don't have enough moxie, so we're going to use our last moxie to just give a painting over to Fridgette. We're going to give her Hero's Journey, so she can immediately move 4 squares, up to 4 squares, and if she ends the movement adjacent to the Ruffian, they take 1 damage. So we're going to have Fridgette go 1, 2, 3, and end up here. And ending adjacent to the Ruffian, that's going to do a damage. And then we're going to go... I think we're just going to go 1, 2, and end our turn by the campfire again to just get another water token off Judy. So I think we'll do that. 2, 3, 4. Let's actually go here. Because that at least we'll be in range to use the trebuchet too if we want to. It's easier to hit with the trebuchet than it is the giant paintbrush at the moment. We do get another accuracy though for giving another painting away, so we're hitting on a 4+. All right. That is going to be it for us. So that is going to be Miss Falls & Co.'s turn. So this is going to trigger at the start of Miss Falls' turn. Move 3 squares towards the target. Already doing that, so we'll just turn like that. And move all water tokens. And we'll just move these over. A little bit easier that way. However, the Ruffian is standing in the mud pit. Even partially activate the Ruffian's weakness, which is now activated. So, takes 1 damage and receives 2 water tokens. Nice. I will... Already down to 9. All right, we're doing pretty well. And then this gets discarded. But we still have to do her actual card. Cry it out. You can see the stress-loaded tears ready to drop from Miss Falls' eyes like liquid bowling balls. No target, but move Miss Falls towards the driest Townsfolk, which is going to be Judy, actually. Yeah, and this is not considered... Well, actually, after each Ruffian action. Interesting. I don't think because we didn't draw this, it's not activating the action or whatever. Like, it was preemptively activated, so I think that's... Shocking Guests wouldn't trigger. Move Miss Falls towards the driest townsfolk. If she collides with any townsfolk while moving, move a water token from Miss Falls onto those townsfolk. Keep this card in front of the party. At the start of the next ruffian action, all townsfolk within 4 squares of Miss Falls takes 1 damage from a massive falling tier. Then move a water token from Miss Falls onto each townsfolk who took damage and discard this card. Okay, how do we want to do this? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That sort of sucks because let's go 3, 4. We're going to go here. I think there's a chance that we can actually get the company on because now that Fridgette has 4 water tokens, she has to get tied with Quintus. So we're going to keep this in front of the party. So I'll have to make sure to get out of dodge. So we have to get out of 4 squares. That should be pretty easy for all of our characters. All right, so we're going to roll off between Quintus and Fridgette to see who the company goes after with shocking guests. It's going to be 3 for Fridgette. And 7 for Quintus. So we'll have her go against Fridgette. So that means we can go 1, 2, 3, and we actually can move over just 1, making Miss Falls and Co. take a damage. Down to 8. All right, and this is, yeah, at the start of the next ruffian action. Okay, so Quintus, so it's only 1 more damage though until a breaking point, and that's gonna trigger Cry It Out. So I don't want to do a damage here just yet, which is a little bit awkward. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think we're just gonna go 1, 2, just move a little bit away, just so at the next action, the company won't land on top of Quintus. For Fridgette's turn, what do we want to do here? I could actually go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Fridgette. But Fridgette also has 4, and I don't want that to be. Oof. It's a little bit awkward here, huh? I definitely need to get Happy Place into Fridgette's hands so she can use Cloud Collar, at least for a turn. There's not a great way we can do that, though. So I think we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just going to get away. 1, 2, 3, 4. This way that company won't go over the campfire as well. And then for Judy, we can actually go 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. Because Judy is fine. I guess we could use Judy and attack with the trebuchet right now, especially now that we're pretty much all out of range. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So it has 3+ accuracy now. We're gonna use 1 Moxie to do it. We're gonna attack with it. That's gonna be a successful hit. So 1 damage. It's gonna be a breaking point. Cry It Out is going to trigger, but no one's within 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh wait, I miscounted. Yeah. Let's actually retract that. I actually didn't want to do that because I thought I was 1 square away. I could actually be. Oh no, I can't be there. Judy does not have enough movement, so we'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4 this way actually to get out of range. All right, let's do that instead. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. All right. So that is going to be Miss Falls and Co.'s turn. So all townsfolk within 4 squares take what damage, but nothing happens there. So we're just gonna go on to this. Squeeze Dry. All townsfolk within 4 squares. That actually is no one again. If there were no targets in range of this action, move Miss Falls towards the driest townsfolk. That's gonna be Judy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not great, because she's getting really far away from the company now. Otherwise, Miss Falls wrangles the target in with the sweeping tower leg and uses them like a sponge. Well, it's a good thing we dodged that one. But now company is going to trigger. It's going to be a tie again between Fridgette Jones and Quintus. That's going to be Fridgette. I always go left to right. And that's going to be Fridgette again. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go like that. Quintus's turn. So am I fine with just sort of bursting down here. If we get the 3 damage from the rickety farm, that could be pretty huge. I think maybe we'll just get set up to... Well, actually, now let's just go for it. We need to use the... We need some healing anyways, or we could use some healing. So let's spend a Moxie. We're going to roll on the rickety farm. That's a 9. That's going to be 3 damage. Rickety farm can't be activated anymore, but that is going to be 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. That is also what we wanted because we did interact with the terrain piece for 1 coin, and we also did damage from a terrain piece. So another 2 coins. Sweet. All right, breaking point. Desperate Attack. Miss Falls gains 2 water tokens. She launches a jet of water from her mouth towards the company, but it goes right through him. The water ain't going to stay in the air forever. Keep this card in front of the party. At the start of the next ruffian action, all townsfolk within 4 squares of the company take 1 damage. Then move a water token from the ruffian onto each townsfolk who took damage and discard this card. Okay. Well, we gotta be... Luckily, we can actually move Fridgette. This is a breaking point, so... still in action, though, so Shocking Guests goes into play, but Miss Falls & Co. actually has 4 wet tokens as well. So we're gonna go Fridgette first. Fridgette rolls a 9. Quintus rolls a 10. Miss Falls & Co. rolls a 10 as well. Oh, that's gonna be Fridgette. Dang it! Why did I roll so high for everyone? Alright, so unfortunately that means Fridgette is going to take a damage. Oof, going down to 2. Luckily she does have enough movement to get away, so this thing doesn't hit her. But it is going to be Fridgette's turn. So yeah, I think we just have to try to get away. I could also go to the clothesline. Don't have a lot of gear to unequip, but I could get rid of all my stuff. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just move away. I can always swap positions with Quintus or something. All right, Judy's turn. So 1 more damage and another breaking point's gonna happen. So I think we're just gonna go for it. I think we just gotta, we're really close to killing her, so I think we're just gonna go for it. So let us attack with our giant paintbrush. So we are hitting on a 5. 4. That's an 8. That's gonna be a successful hit. So 1 damage, and it's gonna be a breaking point. So there's no one within 4 squares of the company, so no one takes damage from that. And then it's just a discard. And then we'll play her actual action. Drowning Head, Driest Townsfolk. Ooh, that is going to be Judy. Move towards the target. If it reaches them, trigger the after effect. In an act of desperation, that Miss Falls leans over and swallows the target whole. The target resolves. Miss Falls does have 2 or more water tokens. The target nearly drowns in Miss Falls' head before being spat out. Oh, we could have got the giant gumwad unique gear. Dang. That's okay. Oof. 2 damage going down to 1, though. But we did take damage, so we get another accuracy for the fight. We do have 1 more painting to give away, so if we can do that, we can heal 1 as well. Oof. And then Shocking Guest is going to go into play. Again, we have a 3-way tie. So we're going to roll for Fridgette. Fridgette gets a 1. Quintus gets a 2. And Miss Falls & Co. gets a 4. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, it does put out the... Whoops. Does put out the campfire because the company landed on it. I think we're fine and with that. We're pretty close to ending this. All right, so then it is going to be Quintus's turn. How do we want to do this? Everyone's so far away. I think we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Quintus. I'm going to use 1 Moxie to use the Trebuchet. We're going to hit on a 3 or higher. That's a 1. I'm going to use 2 Moxie to re-roll that. Because we haven't used our Moxie for anything else. 7. That's going to be a successful hit. It's going to be 1 damage. And that's going to be his turn. Fridgette is just going to try to make her way back, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think we are going to use the clothesline. I think I'm just going to unequip the cloud collar with the clothesline, and that'll get rid of 2 water tokens. And I think that's just going to be it. Oh, I guess I still have one. It's only 1 Moxie for this, right? So I guess I'll use another Moxie, and we're just going to get wooden spoon, because I won't be able to get the painting over anyways with Judy. So I think that's fine. We'll just get something that we can actually attack with. All right. It's going to be it for her. So Judy... Oh, there's nothing on the backside of that. Judy's turn. I guess we're just going to attack with a giant paintbrush. If we take 1 more damage, though, we are knocked out. Unfortunately, we only have 4 movement, so I can't actually... Yeah, there's nothing else for me to do. I just have to attack. Hope that we don't get damage next turn. That's a critical. All right. Let's do it. An 8. Might be +1 damage. Nice. A brilliant blow. Your attack deals +1 damage. Down to 1. That is what I want to see. And I guess we'll just go 1, 2. We'll just move back a bit, I guess. Just in case, I don't know, there's like close range AoE or something. All right, Miss Falls & Co. Grand Deluge, closest townsfolk. Ooh, if it reaches them, deal 1 damage. Sorry, Judy. That is going to be a dead Judy. And move all water tokens from the ruffian onto the target. I don't think anything would happen there, huh? The ruffian reaches them, deal 1 damage. Let's make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, I guess it just won't move. But that is going to be shocking guests now. So we're going to do another 3-way... actually, no, it's just between Quintus and the company. So we're going to Quintus... Gets a 10. Wow, we've rolled a lot of 10s today. And Miss Falls & Co. I think the company is going to... Yeah, the company is going to kill Miss Falls & Co. Because the company is going to go towards Miss Falls & Co. It's going to land on top of her and deal a damage. Wow, that is poetic. As much as Miss Falls & Co. wanted to run away, she ends up dying from the thing she was running from. That's very sad. That is very sad. You know, just like Port Dovis, you feel for Miss Falls & Co. All right, well, that is going to be it. Let's give the paintings back to Judy, because she gets us back at the end of the battle. Flip that over, because that can be reused. However, the stolen candy is done, because that has to be discarded. But Quintus is the one that gets his choice of, or not his choice, gets one of the other pieces of unique gear. We did get a unique gear for Fridgette, so that's still pretty sick. So let's see what we get. So we have the other 2 pieces of gear are pipe stilts and charged shield. So we're going to just shuffle those, and we'll see what we get for Quintus. Charged shield. It's a one-hander, so we can use it with the rubber bat. That's very, very nice. It's going to be a melee one-handed shield for 9 coins. Once per fight, prevent all damage dealt to you or an adjacent townsfolk from a ruffian action. Then if you have 3 or more Moxie, the ruffian takes damage equal to the amount prevented. That's pretty sick. Because we also have, we do have the baby bib, which does actually give us 3 Moxie. Sick. Okay, that's a pretty sweet weapon. All right, that is going to be it. We also get our coins. We get... What do we get? It's been a while. We get 7 coins, right? 6 coins. All right. We get 6 coins. Let's just make this easy and copy pasta. And let's reset also the wet tokens. And let's get rid of... and we're going to need those wet tokens for another fight. And let's make sure we reset our stats. Make sure everything's good. Judy goes back up to 3. Has +1 Moxie. Should go back down to 1 accuracy, though. And Quintus gets back up to full health. All right, that is going to be a successful first fight. That was... first fights in Townsfolk Tussle are relatively easy. I don't think I've ever really had any issues. Still lost Judy, but that was a little bit unfortunate. I think the problem was we sort of spread out a little bit too much. I think I should have kept Judy over here to at least use as trebuchet. But that's okay. Note to self, Miss Falls and Co. likes to go for the driest townsfolk first. But that is going to be it. That is going to be our first fight. We are going to be moving on to the second round town phase in the next video, so make sure to subscribe if you want to see when that comes out and keep up to date on this playthrough. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't checked out my other videos, please do so, because it does help out the channel a lot. I do cover a variety of board games and there's some more fun things down the road. But until next time, thank you for watching, and we'll see you then.